Level 1. The Basij volunteer. You are 16 years old. You are standing in a concrete room behind a mosque, and a man with a beard and a clipboard is handing you a laminated card. It has a revolutionary emblem on it. You put it in your pocket. That card is the most official thing you have ever owned. Your job is to walk. Every evening, you patrol your neighborhood in a pair. You look for women whose hijab is slipping. You look for boys and girls walking too close together. You note the addresses of houses where music is too loud or lights burn too late. You write these things in a notebook and hand the notebook to the man with the clipboard. He barely looks at you when he takes it. You are not paid, but the card means your university application gets a second look. It means a government job queue opens. The older men at the station ignore you almost entirely. You are furniture to them. You are also now their instrument. Here's what they did not tell you. You are on a list. Everyone on the list is expected to show up when they call. You signed something you did not fully read. You belong to something now. You watch the active members leave on their motorbikes. Someday. Level 2. The active Basij enforcer. You completed 45 days of training. Ideological study in the morning. Weapons handling in the afternoon. Quranic recitation before bed. They told you the protesters are not your countrymen. They are agents of the great Satan. They are tools of the enemy. You heard this often enough that you stopped questioning it. Now you wear a helmet and carry a baton, and when the order comes, you ride into the square. The crowd is young. Some of them are your age. You do not think about that. You were trained not to think about that. You hit, you push, you drag. You hand people off to the men behind you, and you do not ask where they go. You are paid more today than a teacher makes in a month. The IRGC officer who gave the order is parked at the edge of the square in a black car. He does not get out. He watches from the window. When it is over, he drives away, and you ride back to the station. No one debriefs you. There is nothing to debrief. The faces you saw in the square are your neighbors' faces. You will see them again at the market. You will look away first. You are told you have potential. They say you should consider going full-time. Level 3. The Pasdar. The Guardian. You raise your right hand and you recite an oath. Not to Iran. To the Supreme Leader. There is a difference, and you understand now that the difference is the entire point. You wear the IRGC uniform patch for the first time. The emblem is a tulip-shaped rendering of the word Allah above 2 crossed swords. You keep running your thumb over it in the barracks at night. This is real. You are a Pasdar now, a guardian. You do checkpoint rotations at the perimeter of a facility whose function you are not told. You clean weapons and attend ideological sessions scheduled alongside weapons cleaning. In the afternoons, sometimes you pour concrete for an IRGC-owned construction project outside the base. The Corps uses its soldiers the way a factory uses workers. You do not ask who profits. The officers eat first, in a separate room. When one of them walks through the barracks, you stand. He does not look at you. That is correct. That is how it works. You can be deployed anywhere. To a border. To a city street. To Syria. The oath covered all of it. You did not notice that when you were reciting it. You guard what they tell you to guard. Level 4. The Setvan, the junior officer, 2 small 8-pointed stars on your shoulder. You keep touching them without meaning to. You walk into a room and 12 men stand up. 12 men, standing for you. You have never had this before in your life. Your unit does checkpoint operations, perimeter security, and whatever else the captain assigns. But there is another duty on your list, one that was not discussed during the promotion ceremony. You must file a loyalty assessment on each of the 12 men in your unit. Are they attending prayers? Do they express doubts about leadership? Have they spoken negatively about the Supreme Leader? There is a form. You fill it out monthly. The IRGC clerical representative in your unit reads what you write. He also writes a form about you. When you go to your captain's office, you stand the entire meeting. He does not offer you a chair. You understand this is not rudeness. It is the grammar of this institution. You learn to choose every word carefully, not just on the forms. In hallways, in the canteen, in your sleep. Word by word, you are becoming someone who chooses carefully. Level 5. The Sarvan, the district commander. There are 2 phones on your desk. One is registered to a construction company. The other has no label. Both ring constantly. You run a district now. That means you run the IRGC's financial operations in this district. Construction contracts, import licensing, the permits that businesses need to survive. The local taco stand does not pay you a tax. This is not the cartel, but the building contractor who wants the municipal project knows which office controls which stamp. And his envelope arrives on Thursday mornings, and you know what it is, and he knows that you know, and no one writes any of this down. You also manage the Basij units below you. You approve detention orders. You coordinate with the intelligence office. You are, in the same morning, a soldier and a businessman and a judge. Above you, the brigadier in the provincial capital sets your quotas, revenue quotas, stability quotas. If either falls short, your posting changes. In this institution, a posting change is not always just a posting change. You sign a construction approval and a detention order in the same hour. Your hand feels nothing different between them. That fact stays with you. Level 6. The Sartip, the provincial commander. They call you Sardar now. It is an honorific for generals. You are a general. You chair a security coordination meeting in a marble-floored room. The provincial police chief is in the room. The judiciary representative is in the room. They work for ministries that officially have nothing to do with you. They both take notes when you speak. No one required them to do this. No regulation mandates it. But everyone in this room understands the actual architecture of power, and it has nothing to do with the organizational chart on the wall. You approve mass arrest operations. You set the terms of protest response for an entire province. You also approve infrastructure bids, energy contracts, and import licenses. The elected governor needs your cooperation to get anything built. You have never threatened him. You have never needed to. The IRGC intelligence organization files reports on provincial generals. You have been filing reports on people your entire career. You understand what it means that someone is now filing them on you. You say less. You choose more carefully. The room you are most powerful in is also the most surveilled room you have ever occupied. After the meeting, the governor holds the door. You do not acknowledge it. That would be too generous. Level 7. The Quds force operator. You are not in Iran. You have not been in Iran for 11 days. The safe house changes every 3. The furniture is cheap. The communications equipment is not. 3 passports are in the desk drawer. None of them are Iranian. You have memorized all 3 cover identities. You use them in rotation so casually that sometimes you have to pause to remember which name you were born with. Your job is to manage proxy forces across multiple countries. You arm them, fund them, train them, and report back to Tehran on which commanders are becoming too independent. A militia commander in this city controls 30,000 fighters. He needs the weapons and the money that only you can authorize. When you sit across from him, he pours your tea. The man who held your position before your predecessor was killed by a drone strike. Your predecessor survived 4 years before a targeted strike in Damascus. You book the next safe house before you finish your briefing each night. You authorize a weapons shipment. You write it as a logistics coordination memo. You use a code name. The memo will not exist by morning. You are the most powerful Iranian official in this city. No one in this city knows your name. Level 8. The Sarashkar, the branch commander. There is a map on the wall that covers the entire Middle East. You have stood in front of it so many times it no longer looks like a map. It looks like a balance sheet. Your insignia is the most elaborate in the active corps. 2 8-pointed stars below, crossed swords, and a wreath, and the word Allah rendered in a tulip. Every officer in the building knows what it means. When you walk a corridor, colonels step aside. When you speak in the command meeting, people write things down. You command a branch. Tens of thousands of soldiers. You also oversee the financial operations that fund those soldiers outside the state budget. The IRGC controls roughly 1/3 of Iran's economy. At this level, that is your economy to administer. The commander-in-chief is the only man in the room you do not outrank. When he enters, you stand with the others. You do not speak until acknowledged. You have not changed. The institution has simply revealed itself to you fully. And the revelation is that the pyramid goes all the way up and there is one person at the top who was not elected by anyone in this room. Your communications are logged. Every financial decision is audited. You are watched the way you once watched lieutenants. You command 20,000 people. You trust almost none of them. Level 9, the Farmandeh call. Commander of the Corps. Every general in Iran is standing. They stand when you walk in. They do not sit until you sit. They do not speak until you speak. You have built this. Or rather, you rose through it, and now you are it. You command the IRGC's ground forces, Navy, Aerospace Arm, intelligence apparatus, Quds force operations, and the Basij militia. 125,000 active soldiers, proxy networks across 5 countries, missile arsenals pointed in every direction, an economic empire embedded in the infrastructure of the nation. You do not manage all of this in the sense of touching it. You whisper to your branch commanders, and 3 days later, something moves on a map. The Supreme Leader's representative arrives at your headquarters. You stand. The Supreme Leader himself does not come to you. You are summoned to him. That distinction is the most important fact about your job. Everything you command on his behalf. The President of Iran has no authority over your position. You answer to one man, appointed for life, accountable to no election. Israel has eliminated people who held this office. The United States killed the most famous operational commander this institution ever produced. You rotate your movements. You communicate in layers. You have a successor already briefed and a successor to your successor. You have everything. An institution that moves nations, an economy that answers to you, generals who will not look you in the eye without permission. You will hold this position until the Supreme Leader decides otherwise. There is no retirement. There is no walking away. You know too much, and you are too powerful to be left unaccountable, and the man above you knows both of those things very well. You built the machine. You run the machine, but you were never the machine's owner. The throne is real. The cage around it is just harder to see from the inside.